All right, 3 o'clock. Grand opening, grand closing. Here's your last time you're probably going to hear about the Pistons until June. So savor the flavor. A little bit of water left in the water bottle. Here's your deadline. The whole thing is fugazi. I have no idea what this franchise is doing. I have no problem that you traded Monte Morris, Alec Burks, and Bogdanovich. There's no issue. Why would I have an issue? But it is the return you are getting for these players that once again shows Troy Weaver is a bad actor. He's an imposter. I mean, here, trade grades are out if you want them. New York, according to CBS, A+. Pistons, C. I mean, that's every deal. You got a second-round pick in 2030 for Monte Morris, which means, all right, I'm still down a pick from the Bagley thing. Then you go out and you trade Burks and Bogdanovich to the same team, seemingly only getting a return on Burks. 2 seconds and Grimes, who is a backup guard. So in total, you moved Marvin Bagley, you moved Alec Burks, Bogdanovich, and Monte Morris, and netted 1 second-round pick and got Grimes and Fontenecchio. What's the plan again? Because I can tell you as we sit here, and I'll throw the number out, 248-539-9797. The only deal I'm interested in as we sit here right now, I'm being serious, moving forward, you have to trade one of Cade and Ivy. You pick. You pick. Because last night, the team you played, they had the same choice to make. They had De'Aaron Fox and they had Tyrese Halliburton, and it wasn't working. They couldn't play together. Not optimally. They traded Halliburton, they got Sabonis, and they turned their franchise around. I feel like that's the only move that needs to happen because it'll allow them to pick a direction. Here's our point guard. We are building around you. The keys to the franchise are yours.
I think that's the only move right now that would actually get people in the city excited about this team again because now you have a focus. Because I don't think they can play together. And if it were me, I keep Ivy. I move Cade. Not because I don't like Cade. It's because I think Cade can probably bring you back more. I think his value is higher in the rest of the NBA, whereas I don't think Ivy's is. But locally, you see what he can do when there's no Cade in the game.
The problem is you got to replace Monty Williams then. Because I don't know that Monty likes Jaden Ivey. Why else was Jaden Ivey, basically Monty Williams played the role of Tom Izzo. He burned Ivey to the ground. He had this fascination playing a guy that they just released for nothing because he had no value in Killian Hayes. Think about that.
Well, maybe it'd be like Moneyball because he loved Killian Hayes. And
Hillebrand at first. Okay.
Killian's not here anymore.
248-539-9797. So I apologize in advance if you're like, well, damn, Mike's not yelling and screaming. I can't. The Pistons are just a morbid curiosity at this point.
Because there's nothing to yell and scream about because you're just kind of sitting here wondering, what did I just watch? What's going on here? I don't understand. What's the plan? What are you doing? Why did you do this?
Look at the timing of the deals. He makes all these deals at the same time. The roster gets bloated to 19 total players. The Pistons have spent most of this afternoon just waiving people. I don't feel like they got great return in any deal. The Fontenecchio one would be the best one I saw. He's a rotational piece. I'm not mad about it. You're going to have to pay him. You're going to have to sign him. He's going to be an RFA. My guess is low end, 10 mil a pop. High end, beef stew range, 15 a pop. Guys, you can laugh. NBA teams are crackheads. It only takes one crackhead to mess up the whole budget. But I would love to know what the plan is because Rico and I failed to see it. Oh, I know. Cap space and nimble and flexible. Who the hell are you using that money on? I know who's in the free agent class. You don't want any of them. And if you think you're going to make a trade, all I'll tell you is, what are you trading? You don't have a lot of salary to put into a deal. You haven't moved any of the core. Who are we trading for? Especially with no picks. So That's that. We'll rap about it for a couple segments. We got football today to get to. Derek Stevens later in the hour. Do some deal breakers. Turn our attention to the Super Bowl a little bit, but it is deadline day. So wave goodbye. Here's the last time you hear about the Pistons until about June. Call Kenny Cotton now. 248-539-9797. David, anything we missed? Anything you'd like to add or ticket text?
Nothing you missed. I'm waiting to see if there's a last-minute deal, but we'll see.
On the old fax machine? Okay.
Let me read a couple here from Gordon. He says, call it what it is. Weaver is rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. That's what it looks like right now. Scott in Waterford says, hopefully the plan is to clear the debris from the roster to leave a clean slate for the new GM. I may be considered a bad fan, but honestly, all I can do is laugh at all of this. Literally no identity with the Pistons. Troy Weaver looking more and more untouchable each day, and the owner could care less.
Are you convinced Weaver's here this summer like I am?
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
We're all on the same page. I mean, David, I can't yell about Tom Gores anymore. Man's a damn fool. Everyone knows it. It's like, what's there to say? Yeah, sell the team. I mean, this is a pointless endeavor.
Waste of energy to say
Let
that.
me ask this question before he reads more ticket texts. If you're out there and you're going, well, damn, not really interested in what they're talking about. Okay. What could the Pistons do, if anything, to get your interest? There was a time they were the hottest ticket in town. Hell, 20 years ago yesterday, you acquired Rasheed Wallace, which put the wheels in motion to winning a championship, and really it should have been 2. It put the wheels in motion on going to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. There was a time they mattered.
Everybody in Detroit knew what the phrase ball don't lie means.
What would it take, if anything, for them to get your attention? David, go ahead.
The Pistons are a complete and utter joke. I feel like the only guarantee in a Troy Weaver trade is that a second-round pick will be involved in it in some way. The saddest part of the deadline is Weaver's 2 best moves were releasing Harris and Hayes. Pistons are trying to sell activity as productivity. Maybe these moves make them better in the community, someone asked.
I see what they did.
I see what they did there, too.
Bryce at work says, the plan was, oh, crap, I'm about to lose my job. I have to do something. So throw a couple Hail Mary passes. He's Bob Quinn 2.0. Why won't Troy Weaver have a press conference? You just jettisoned the entire roster, so now speak.
I would love to see it. I would. The problem is, here's what it would sound like. But do I think when you move around the deck chairs on the Titanic, largely the pieces you've acquired and you waive the number 7 overall pick, you waive your big acquisition this summer, do I think you should have to speak? Of course I do. That's never going to happen here. There is no accountability here. The owner doesn't talk. He only gives you a recorded message. He only flew in and did a mystery meeting that I can't even tell you what the hell happened. Weaver doesn't talk. Monty's the meat puppet. He just goes out there and takes bullets every night. There's no accountability. I'd be shocked if Weaver spoke. Shocked.
Someone is asking or answering your question. There is nothing the Pistons could possibly do to get my attention other than moving to Las Vegas. Another one here from JD says, Troy Weaver has officially become the worst GM in Detroit sports history. Bob Quinn and Al Avila move over.
No, I mean, listen. Again, I'm not knocking Grimes and Fontenecchio, all right? Are they fine enough? Of course, I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're not going to give you more than Kevin Knox, but they're not going to give you what Bogdanovich and Burks got you. So the question becomes, is having them on the team next year the value in the return? And mind you, you're going to have to pay Fontenecchio. See, I think if you're out here selling that they got better, you're a clown. All they did was just get different. And there's still no plan. I mean, Fontenecchio and Grimes are not nearly the pair of shooters that Burks and Bogey are. You can't tell me they fix that. Do you want to tell me Grimes and Fontenecchio are better defensive players than Burks and Bogey? Noted. Noted. Won't fight you. But what did we add to the war chest? No. Did we acquire things people want? No, not really.
What you just said is so spot on. You're right. We didn't get better. We're just different.
again.
It's just different.
I don't know. 248-539-9797. We'll get to your phone calls and then turn our attention to football later in the hour.